In the name of Almighty God, I am Mahsa Sankoshi, and today I want to talk about thermal X-rays breaking out from pre-explosion ejecta of the dying massive stars. It was written by Vimian Yuan and his colleagues. Massive stars dies as energetic supernova explosions, but the physical processes during and before such explosions are poorly studied observationally. The first electromagnetic signals from core collapse events are predicted to be a flash of soft X-ray and ultraviolet UV light produced as a result of a shock wave breaking out of the star and its surrounding medium. Such shock breakout SPO events often carry essential information about the explosion energetics, the progenitor star, and its immediate environment. However, they are difficult to catch because of their very short durations and a historical lack of sensitive wide field monitors. Only two SPO or specifically such shock breakout events have been detected for so far in X-rays, but emission spectra are modified from the simple thermal form by complicated physical factors. However, here we report the discovery of a fast X-ray transient EP26O 321A, followed by a broad line type A supernova emerging days later, suggesting its progenitor as a Wolf-Rayet star with its hydrogen and helium envelopes stripped. Its X-ray emission is soft and best melted by blackbody radiation, making it a bona fide SPO. The observed SPO, which is exactly the such shock breakout. The observed long duration and large total energy output of the X-ray event jointly indicate a shock breaking out from a surrounding shell at a radius of about 300 solar radius rather than from the progenitor star's surface. This provides direct evidence of abrupt mass ejection within a month prior to core collapse, suggesting intense pre-explosion activity for a massive star. The real-time detection of such a breakout yields precise timing of stellar collapse, allowing for efficient searches for associated neutrons and potential gravitational wave signals. These, together with timely multi-wavelength observation, may uncover how massive stars and their leaves. On 21st of March 2026 at 12:30 o'clock at the UTC time, the Wide Field X-ray telescope WXT on board the Einstein probe (EP) detected an X-ray transient designated EP26O321A during a survey observation. An autonomous observation by the EP, or exactly Einstein probe's follow-up X-ray telescope, was triggered and started from TDT plus 215 seconds, further localizing this uncatalogued source to a position consistent with the galaxy SDSS at a redshift of the z is equal to 0.0344. See reference 11. A general coordinates network (GCN) notice was issued automatically at TDT plus 329 seconds. Two GCN circulars were issued at TDT plus 31.4 minutes and TDT plus 16 hours, which identified EP 26-321A as a supernova shock breakout candidate and induced extensive multi-wavelength follow-up observation. WXT had in fact captured the onset of the transient at T0 is equal to to 2026 March 21st of the March, at the time 12:16. In the preceding survey observation, the X-ray light glare increased linearly over 700 seconds, followed by an exponential decay. See the lower panel on the figure 1. The entire evolution of the decay stage was covered by FXT up to the T0 plus the 2300 second. Generally, the X-ray light curve evolved smoothly with no significant substructure. Several monitoring observations with FXT were also conducted from T0 plus 0.4 days to T0 plus 20 days, and the Chandra X-ray Observatory observed EP 26.0321 on T0 plus 15 days. All these subsequent observations resulted in non-detection. Meanwhile, although the source was covered by several gamma ray monitors around the time of the outburst, no gamma ray bursts, GRB counterpart to EP 260321 was reported. The X-ray spectra of WXT T0 to T0 plus 2200 second and FXT T0 plus 1065 second to T0 plus 2359 second are well described by an absorbed blackbody function with an intrinsic absorption column density of NH is equal to 8.4 multiplied by 10 to the power of 20 1 per square centimeter in excess of the galactic absorption of 2.64 multiplied by 10 to the power of 21 per square centimeter, and black body temperatures of KT observation is equal to 124 electron volts and 112.7 electron volt for WXC and FXC respectively, where K is a Boltzmann constant. See the figure 2. Also, a cutoff power law model also provides a statistically acceptable fit. The best fitting parameters effectively mimic a blackbody spectrum, whereas a simple power law model is strongly disfavored. Methods from the blackbody spectra fit. It can be calculated that the 0.3 to 10 kilo electron volt luminosity of EP2 or 321 A reach its peak value of LPX is equal to 1.0 positive negative 0.3 multiplied by 10 to the power of 45 erg 1 per s at TPX is equal to 690 positive negative 60 second, which yields an apparent blackbody radius of LPX per 4p sigma t absolute to the power of 1 divided by 2, which is equal to 10R. The total radiated energy in X-ray band 0.3 up to 10 kilo electron volt is ETH. X is equal to 8.7 positive negative 0.6 multiplied by 10 to the power of 47, with a duration of T90 is equal to 1750 s, accompanied by a decrease in flux after the peak. The black body temperature decreases slightly from a maximum value of 135 electron volts to 110 electron volts. The temperature and low total radiated energy of EP26 or 321A indicate that it is the softest and the least luminous among all extragalactic fast X-ray transients detected by EP Einstein device to date. The blackbody spectrum, smooth light care, and extremely low luminosity of EP26 or 321A all suggest that it is a canonical SPO event. In the left panel of figure 3, we compare the X-ray light care of EP26O 321A with two previously reported SPU events, XRF 0.060 and XRO 0.80 109, both of which are dominated by non-thermal components and have lasting tail emission. In comparison, EP 321A was no longer detected after the second orbit of the autonomous FXT observation from T0 plus 5137S to T0 plus 8111S, which may simply result from the absence of the non-thermal component. This has happened when a human cannot control the humidity and their wittiness, and they make a joke with the nature, and nature in response has the very massive uh, answer for them. And when they see them that as they wanted to make nature nacked, the nature come here to nact the people. And it's that they are not so armed and equipped to control it with no army, no military services, and it is the consequences that it must be swallowed. Our optical and near infrared follow-up campaign was carried out using multiple ground-based facilities. Only 40 min after T0, the 0.7 anti-robotic telescope began detecting the optical counterpart of EP 26 or 321A in the R band, and shortly thereafter the 1.6 meter Mephisto telescope in either the UGI to URZ bands, showing that the counterpart appears on top of a northwestern bright blue knot of the host galaxy SDSS. It is J095942.88 88 plus 002506.2. See the upper panel of figure 1, and that there is only slight flux variations between the first few hours. Approximately 1 day later, the fluxes across all filters started to increase with a temporal index less than 1, peaking around 12 days, as presented in figure 4. Yes, of course, I'm talking between the lines, and if you are smart enough, you can hear it. The universe is coming to make a balance, but this balance is not something that someone can control it. It's finishing something totally and dragging everything to the singularity. High quality spectra were obtained from the optical counterpart of EP 321A, spanning the phase from the T0 plus 2.7 days to T0 plus 56.4 days, which allows us to identify it as a broad-lined type is a supernova, and also in the galaxy. Surprisingly, in a local environment are extremely low metallicity. Furthermore, the bolometric light curve of SN226J ZF shows a close remembrance to that of SN 2006AJ, SN 1998 BW, and SN 2025 kilogram. Expect for its relatively weak pre-supernova optical boom. In summary, the associated of EP 26 or 321, you see the synchronization, and I want to invite you to the very sin that my Almighty God prepared it for bad people. With SN2026J, ZF provides further support for its identity as a supernova SPO event. When you cannot control yourself to aspire to the privacy of the very innocent people that are living their own life, and you want to scatter and broadcast their privacy life, it is absolutely happen for you very soon. And yesterday we had the X-ray radio emission to this earth, and you must know that X-ray is fundamentally the last stage of the sun. It's not a cycle that happens after each 11 years. We perform radio observations of EP26 or 321 ASN. No, you cannot copy and duplicate or rewrite or whatever phrase you invented from yourself. uh, God, Almighty God has the originality, the punishment. It's the exact phrase as a punishment, and it's literally ending, because when we see a star is emitting the X-ray, it means that it is something is ending, something is off at multiple frequencies in the range zero point 0.7 up to 23 gigahertz from T0 plus 5 days to T0 plus 31 days using Meerkat, Atka, Merlin, and GMRT. We also compile radio observations from GCN circulars. Yes, when you make a circus and many eyes just stare at the light, the light will burn it. No reliable radio counterpart is detected methods. Of course, people cannot, the sinful people cannot love my sentence between the lines. These upper limits lie well below the radio afterglow fluxes of the majority of GRB. Yes, of course, game is over, disfavoring the existence of on-axis relativistic jet method. See also reference 21. This is consistent with the non-detection of EP26 or 321A in gamma rays. No, it's not uh, it's not something. It's just I'm. I want to transfer and transmit message for you, because I want that you see that I saw it before you. Furthermore, even for an off-axis jet or a choke jet, high energy emission that EP26 or 321 could also be expected to arise from the inner cocoon or the cocoon break out. Overall, these radio and gamma ray constraints strengthen our claim that the soft X-ray emission of EP260 321 arises from supernova SPO. My third floor in my street, I am living in a Sattar Khan street in Tehran, is spying on me. And it's not bothering me anymore, because they broadcast everything they can. They could do that. I just want to mention to my neighbor is Dehdari and my third floor. So I have a lot other bunch of names that will arise later, because I'm studying on them. Supernova SPO occurs when the explosion drive and shock reaches a photon diffusion surface at an optical depth of tau. SPO is equal to C divided by nu SH. When I'm talking this so much confident and deterministic, it means that yes, something literally is shaking the foundation. The speed ratio of light to shock wave. You see, I'm loving when I get the confirmation from my bears. I don't have a disciple, good disciple as students, but I have a good students as an animal. This means that they are literally listening to me, and they can comprehend me, before which the heat converted from the kinetic energy of the shock cannot diffuse out efficiently, and thus the shock is radiation mediated. So something is coming to make people completely dismantle after SPO that there is no equipment in any power military to prevent it. The heat trapped behind the shock stars starts to be released to produce thermal emission in the UV and soft X-ray bands. However, specifically a radiation-mediated shock moving at a much faster velocity than nu SH is greater than zero point 0.1 C would deviate substantially from local thermal equilibrium and lead to characteristic color temperature much higher than zero point 0.1 kilovolt. See reference 25, 28. Therefore, the observed blackbody spectra and relatively low temperature of EP26 or 321 strongly suggests that the shock is non-relativistic. Yes, they are antichrist and they are very bad people and they know it. There's something very disgusting which is related to this body with a velocity nu sh is less than zero point 0.1 c. Meanwhile, the shock velocity is also required to be not much lower than almost zero point 0.1 c. My living is confined to have a lecture, pray, meditation, and something like this. So I'm very happy to end the time and end the word. But I want to know that if you are always dancing and mocking the people, innocent people, are you eager to see the end of the time, such that the kinetic energy of the supernova eject moving faster than news edge can be matched to the observed X-ray energy? Yes, its balance may maybe take a little time because massive is not a very mercy. According to the peak time of EP 260 321A, whoever escalated these phenomena around me is responsible to something is happening. For example, the breakout radius RSBO can be infrared to be around 300 R from either photon diffusion or the light travel time effect methods. This is much larger than the progenitor's radius, as it should be a compact wolf rayet star for SNE is BL. I literally wanted billion times from this exact YouTube channel to stop it, and they didn't. They escalated it, and I'm very happy that they escalated it because they signed by their own right hand signature something there is no reversible point for it. The P26 or 331 ASPO event is very unlikely to occur at the stellar surface and instead is more likely to be driven by the interaction of the supernova ejected with dense and optically thick circumstellar material CSM. More notably, RSPO is also considerably larger than the apparent black body reduced directly infrared from the observations I was waiting for to see every single people make me disappointed and make a decision. There was a very tiny thread that I could stop something, and I released it at this moment. I declare to the universe that I release every single thread, and there is no protection for human who are inhabited to this planet. You think that I'm making joke, and no, it's not a joke. It's a reality happening in real time. The primary reason for this difference is that the observed spectra, which appear as blackbody, are actually computerized spectra determined by a scattering equilibrium between electrons and photons. Due to the high speed of the shock in this case, the effective temperature TATH defined from the Stefan Boltzmann law for the radiation energy density as U is equal to RT to the power of 4 is a few times lower than the color temperature T observation of the observed spectra, where U is the energy density behind the radiation dominated shock and alpha is the radiation constant. Furthermore, the light propagation effect would also cause the SPO emission at a given time to be dominated by a ring-like region instead of the entire sphere. Since the post-rock energy density can also be related to its upstream kinetic energy density. By U is equal to 6 divided by 7 rho SPO nu to the power of 2, we can derive the density of the upstream CSM to be rho SPO is equal to 7 R T to the power of 4 divided by 8 F to the power of 4 nu to the power of 2 is equal to 10 to the power of minus 11 G per cubic centimeter, where the color correction factor F cool is equal to T observatory divided by TH is almost equal to 2.5 is introduced to represent the deviation from the complete local thermal equilibrium. Then according to the SPO condition, as tau SPO is equal to cox rho SPO R out minus R SPO is almost equal to C divided by nu SH, we find that the outer radius of the CSM is only slightly larger than the breakout radius, as R out minus R SPO is almost equal to 50 R, where cox is equal to 0.2 a square centimeter per G is optically of fully ionized helium carbon oxygen rich material for soft X-rays. Furthermore, being constrained by the energy budget of X-ray emission, the total mass of the shocked CSM that contributes to the X-ray emission can be derived as MCSM is almost equal to 10 to the power of minus 4. It's not that I was provoked from something external. It's that something happened, and 1 hour the satellite couldn't work anymore to measure the solar flare. I'm very happy. Maybe something is burning inside the satellite. MCSM and nu to the power of 2 divided by 2 is equal to ETH, because if the satellites and technology cannot stay molar ground, it's better that they naturally be burned. The constraint on the MCSM as well as rho SPO indicates that the shocked CSM is accumulated by the shock from a narrow range around the breakout radius with a weight of delta R is equal to MCSM divided by 4P r to the power of 2 SPO P. Rho SPO is almost equal to 50 R, which is comparable to the value of R out minus R SPO. No, you cannot change the rule that was written and etched to the universe time for you. You must know that also my parents and ancestors discovered the time, and they invented how to measure it by the watch and clock. So it's very interesting that they discovered the quartz and every pulse. So if your role was etched inside the pulse, you cannot change your role, you cannot change my role. I'm sitting here forever. I'm giving the lecture how the universe will be ended very soon. Thus, we suggest that the SPO emission doesn't originate from the CSM at radio much smaller than RSPO. No, you cannot say more kindly to me and change anything. I've just wanted to invite you, not because of the external provocation, just because I wanted to invite you to have some sort of a spell and casting a spell. This is the casting spell that times finishing, because yesterday also we had an x-ray, and when it is repetitive, it's not just one day per 11 years, it's repetitive after every almost some days, several days, we have some emission, radio emission as a X-ray. It means that something is shaking the foundation, not the foundation of the earth, foundation of the core of the universe, because your universe is just restricted to the solar system. This implies that the CSM is most likely confined within a thin shell, as any material located at a smaller radius would be compressed to near RSPO if present. detailed modeling of X-ray, light care, and temperature evolution of EP 260321A is presented by the solid line in the lower panel of Figure 1, where a confined CSM shell with a truncated wine density profile is adopted for R input is equal to 260 R and R output is equal to 320 R, and the shock velocity is set at the US edge is equal to 0.089 C. Here it is considered that all heat accumulated by the shock contributed to the SPO X-ray emission. It was better that the first time that you saw that something is terribly different with me, you just could don't make a decision that don't press the button. But instead of making a reasonable decision, you finally did insane, such as the drunk man that yes, you're a drunk man that you don't know how to control the gear and wheel. The most promising origin of such a shell-like CSM is an episodic mass ejection by the progenitor star before the supernova explosion, which could be a wave-driven outburst and powered by a later-stage nuclear burning. The infrared CSM mass and radius of the EP 260.221A also appear to be broadly consistent with the typical properties expected from a wave-driven outburst. The corresponding final mass ejection likely occurred at TCSM is equal to RSPO divided by new CSM is less than 20 days before the SN explosion, where the velocity of wave-driven outbursts for a strip to involve the star is taken as a huge 100 kilometers per second. Yes, when you want to strip the privacy, God is stripping the source of the light that you are using every single moment in your life. Just because you must know that something justice is existing as the level, not as the level, but it can uh, work in your level, suggesting a possible connection to oxygen neon burning inside the progenitor. In principle, such episodic wave-driven outbursts can take place multiple times for a stripped enveloped star, thereby forming a series of distinct CSM shells at different radius. You had a billion chances to change something around me, but I don't want. I just wanted to live peacefully. Whatever you ordered, it's serving on your as a dishes on your table. However, assuming that the mass losses during each ejection are comparable, you can also doubt on my prediction. The outer CSM shells at larger radio are likely optically thin, and thus the interaction of the supernova ejection with these outer shells could not produce significant observation signals. So until this part, go to I want to go to solar activity. You see that we have a something. This is my very particularly loving point. You see, there is no satellite in this time, and someone repaired it because something burned maybe, and they don't talk about it. You see that yesterday we had a type 2 radio emission, and this radio emission was completely. I wanna show you the. It's very interesting this phenomena. Again, it's very near to 500 kilometer per second. I wanted to show you the yes the alert. You can come always to Galaxo.io, and this is the alert. You are watching it. It's a X-ray. You see that X-ray exceeds 5 begin time. It's in summary. You can watch it. That's how it is, and the serial and limited blackout of the high frequency radio communication for tens of area of impact conduct primarily on subsolar point on the sunlit side of the minutes. It's something that as the something happening, and it also can uh, damage to the satellites which is checking. So you see that we had a rabbit here, but this time we had a whale. This is a tail. It's two branch of the head. It's another wing near the body. So it's a whale, and this is rabbit. It's the head of rabbit. It's the ears of the rabbit, body, tail, and this is we have a whale. It's a tail, it's a body, it's again for forehead and the wings. So I hope that you liked my literature and article review. If there is any simulation for this literature, you can download it from github.com/masterscript/koshiscript/safroscript.